When I see colors like that in those veins, I mean, look at that purple and the green. That just screams healthy to me. Healthy. Now the spinach is tough. That bolted. But I mean, we did get, a good month of it there. But yeah, everything is really doing well in here. It seems like, the lasagna bed has provided the proper nutrients and things are thriving here. I'm going to go ahead and pick some of this lettuce because I'm afraid it's going to end up bolting too because heating up here in the Northeast. But yeah, I mean, these are lettuces here. And then the kales, just beautiful kale. And then, I mean, look at the colors in those Swiss chard. Just beautiful. And we still have some bib lettuces down here doing well, some tom-toms. They're shaded by the other ones, so they seem like they're still doing well. But yeah, I mean, take a look at the colors. Big old leaves of Swiss chard. That's a massive lettuce plant. Yeah, I would say the lasagna garden's doing well. All the other plants are popping up. I just laid clippings down on all the corn. It looked like just about every corn seed germinated and popped up. I know it's probably hard to see here, but they're all germinated and growing, so have a nice patch of sweet corn. And then yeah, I mean, look at these colors. Look at this cabbage. Look at the veins and the colors of that. Kohlrabi. Just yeah, I see a little bit of broccoli starting on one of them there. All right, so this is my method to the madness here. I know this looks like a mess, but what I'm doing in this bed for the cold weather crops that need to go in the ground here very soon is I'm digging out like a foot worth of the soil, which is what you see on the perimeter there. I'm down, close to that, I would say. By the time I get this all layered, it's going to be somewhat of a raised bed. But anyway, the thought is I'm going to go ahead. This is composted bedding from the chickens. And, it's very old, over a year old. It's good. It's ready to go. Anyway, my thought is I'm going to go ahead and layer this down in the bottom of that bed. But before I do that, I'm actually going to put a layer of dead grass clippings. I'm going to layer that down. Then I'm going to layer a layer of this. And then I'm going to do a layer of this mushroom mulch with it. It's just essentially leaf mulch, composted leaves on top of that. And then I'm going to pull the soil back on top and plant. So I think that'll create a very nice, organic, nutrient dense base for the plants. And we'll see how that works out. I really like and prefer the no-till method of gardening or raised beds, but I mean, that can get very costly. Soil is like gold. unless you have access to everything. So it seems like every year in the fall, it's extremely busy with sports and whatnot for the kids, and you can just never get caught up, it seems like, in the garden. So it never happens, but my plan is to get this ultimately to a no-till condition here, this soil. And so by doing this, I feel like this is getting that, giving that a kickstart, getting it underway. There'll be a good base under the soil here in this location. And then hopefully this year, because I'm not working right now, I can actually spend the time that's required to keep putting stuff on top, constantly. Grass clippings, leaves, pretty much everything I can come up with. I'm just gonna layer on top of this garden and just trying to keep building it up right from the surface. And I feel like eventually, if we do that, we will be, dealing with really good, rich soil at some point here, and not have to deal with this every year. And we'll just be able to come out and pull a little soil back, throw the plant in the ground, put the soil back over it, done. So got some work to do to get there. Typically I just till it up and mix in the compost, and till it in with the soil, and then I cover it up with the tarp like you can see there, and then plant. But I'd like to get away from that tarp, honestly, and just get the soil so nice that it's just, I can direct sow in it and nothing else really grows in it. Keep the weeds down. So that's the plan anyway. So I'll kind of show you the process here as we go. This is stage 1. All right, and there's stage 2. Grass clippings down. Stage 3, composted bedding. All right, stage 4, we have the, or wait, what are we on? 1 was the grass clippings. 2 was the bedding. 3 is the compost. So that's what we just put on. Layer of leaf compost on top of the bedding, which is on top of the grass clippings. And now just gonna pull in all the dirt, which that's nice loose dirt now, that's on the perimeter. I'm just gonna pull that back in to fill the bed back in, and then it should be nice and loose and ready to go for planting. So we'll see how that works out. Kind of like making lasagna, garden lasagna. That's what I call it, garden lasagna. We'll see how it works. All right, there it is. The last layer. It's finished. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's raised through there. So yeah, we will see how that works out. That's going to be my bed for all of the cold weather crops there. Got to get that in the ground here, and then I'll be done out here for the evening. But yeah, turned out pretty good. Oh, there we go. Everything's in the ground. All the lettuces, chard, kale, kohlrabies, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, spinach. I think that's it. Like 4 or 5 different types of lettuces. Anyway, yeah, everything's in the ground. Feeling good about it. Anyway, I will then mulch that heavily with grass clippings and then straw. And I will continue to do that all throughout the season to help continue to build that soil up. So we'll see how things do here, but I think they'll be good. Whole concept is that it'll be good and loose down through these rows without disturbing the entire garden bed, because there's a whole ecosystem of worm tunnels and different things going on under there. So to till the whole thing up kind of wrecks that whole ecosystem. So instead, we're only disturbing the areas where the plants are going to be dug in. That's what we're shooting for here, a no-till garden. Till then, though, takes a little work. So just an idea what it looks like. So that one I already filled in with all the compost material and all the good stuff in there. And then this one's been pulled back over. Now it will be a little more raised than what it is once I get all the dirt pulled back on for planting. It'll be a nice, straight, tight, higher row. But anyway, that's the method. Lasagna gardening. Let's go. All right, so we're getting ready to plant some corn here today, and I thought I'd show you my corn planter I made. It's basically just a little bit of 1 inch, I think it's 1 inch, 1 inch or 1.25 PVC, and then just an old bucket that you don't need anymore because you got to punch a hole in it, and then bring your pipe up and through it like so, and then basically just put your corn seeds in the bucket, and you just grab one and throw it down the hole. That goes down to the ground and drops the seed in the ground, and then this piece, this extension, is just a spacer so that you have the, you know, perfect space in between your plants. So getting ready to plant our corn here today. Serendipity triple sweet. We got the bed ready last night. So it's ready to go. Gonna get started here. So you're basically just dumping your corn in the bucket. And then you just walk along and throw a seed down the hole. Simple as that. So here is our corn bed. I'm planting it here on the north end of the garden. That way, you know, at a certain point in the day, once it's grown, it'll help shade the cold crops, because this stuff here doesn't like hot weather. So it's nice to put things around it that are taller, to provide some shade to those plants, which here is where the tomatoes are. And then we got the snap peas over there. So, you know, kind of frame it inside of the taller plants so that they can provide some shade to that stuff. Just basically with this planter, you're just dropping a seed like so. I don't know if I can get this, but basically you're just dropping seeds down the hole. And then, as you can see, the seeds are there. And then you spin it around and put your spacer where those seeds are. And then you just keep going down through your row. So this saves you from having to bend over and save your back a little bit. I know mine's not the greatest, so it helps. But anyway, yeah, just thought I'd share this thing with you in case you want to make one. I mean, literally probably $10 worth of materials here. Your back will thank you. All right, so the next step with this, since it's dropping the seeds down to the ground, they're not like in the dirt. It's just placing them there. So now I'm gonna go ahead and fill it up with some loose potting soil, and I'm gonna go back through and just sprinkle, you know, some down through just like the corn on top of the corn seeds. And in that way, they'll be covered up and you'll be able to distinguish, you know, the difference between the soils there, and you'll know where they're at, you know, as far as if they're germinating and popping up or not. Keep an eye on them. That way, you know, if some of the seeds don't take or whatever, and you see that, you know, some of them have germinated, but others haven't, you can come back through, you know, right where they were at and, you know, replant if necessary. So, yeah, this is the second stage, covering them up with a little bit of dirt now. So now, as you can see, I have it filled with potting soil. So we're gonna go back through and just drop a little soil on top of the seeds and done. All right, so now you can see what I mean here. You can easily distinguish the soils where the seeds planted, and it's nice loose dirt, you know, so those seeds would be able to pop right up through that, no problem. And then the bed was thoroughly worked by hand, me and my boys. So nice loose bed, and then underneath there is a thriving ecosystem now for worms. And yeah, we'll see how this bed of corn does this year. That's it. All right, so one last little tour here. I was editing this video, getting it ready to publish, and thought I'd just do one more walkthrough for an update here. So the strawberries, I mean, every day we're out here picking strawberries. They are doing extremely well. Lots of runners kicking out here, so I got to come out and spend a little time planting runners one of these days. But yeah, strawberry patch is looking good. And then as you can see, the lasagna garden is doing well also. So you know, this is zucchini and squash. Down there you have okra and watermelons. Here is cucumbers and snap peas with carrots interplanted down the middle. I do have to come out and get the trellises set up on this bed soon here. This bed is the peppers and tomatoes interplanted with basil and parsley. And then over here we have butternut squash, and I think maybe a few pumpkin, I don't recall. But this is what I wanted to show because I'm not sure, I don't recall if in the last video it you know, was really showing the carrot or the corn yet. So yeah, the corn has all popped up. It's doing well. Saying around here is knee high before 4th of July. So I'd say we're well on our way towards that goal. Now what I did was I also planted some corn in starters, just in case some of these didn't germinate or something happened. That way I could have corn that was planted at the same time, that's around the same, you know, age and growth stage to plant back in if I need to. So I can see a couple spots where we're missing a few, so I'll just interplant those corn plants in here. And yeah, everything is doing well. So and with that is some pole beans and I think some pumpkins interplanted with the corn. And that's so that the pole beans can use the corn stalks as a trellis, and the pumpkins can provide, you know, cover for the bottom of the bed to keep down the weeds and whatnot. And the same applies down there in that one. I just haven't planted the pumpkins yet. I have those in starters. I have to get them in there. But yeah, everything's looking really good here. So I'd say the lasagna gardening is proving to be a decent method here. And as you can see, the cold weather crops are just thriving. I mean, that bed is full of stuff. Some of the lettuces are starting to bolt. The spinach bolted early on, but there's still a lot of lettuce in there that's just, you know, doing really well. It looks like that one's starting to bolt, but those ones in there that are shaded, they're all still doing really well. And then the Swiss chard and kale's blowing up. Everything's looking really good here. Really happy with this bed. We got some broccoli starting there, so should be into some broccoli here soon. And the kohlrabies are starting. They look good. And then I also interplanted in here some more beets and radishes. I don't know if you can really see them, but it's interplanted in the rows here. And then down here at this end, I have some dill, and I also planted some from seed, so there should be more of that coming up here, interplanted in with this stuff. Cabbage is starting to form, red cabbage. Yeah, those kohlrabies are starting to take shape. See the broccoli. So yeah, everything's looking pretty decent here. There you can kind of get some picture of some of the beets starting in there. This is all companion planting as well. Everything's interplanted with companions that do well with the other plants. That's also part of the method of the madness around here, companion planting, and just trying to use the plants to help each other thrive and to prevent weeds and whatnot. Watermelons are starting to look pretty good. Everything's doing good. And I also have some more okra, because I can tell a couple of those plants, they were rough when I got them into the ground. So I have some other ones that are about that same size in starters, and that's what I do as well when I plant. I also plant from seed in starters at the same time I'm planting plants in the garden, just in case something doesn't work out. I have other plants I can put in their place that will start putting off, you know, food around the same time. That way, in this case where we look like we've lost a couple okra plants, I have other ones in starters that I can just pop in there and fill the bed back in, and we should be good. So anyway, yeah, lasagna garden looking good. Grow your own.